Hello, welcome back to This Isn't My Noob channel, where today I'll be talking about the concept of living forever through a little game I like to call Portal 2. If you haven't played Portal or Portal 2, let me explain to you what it is. You play as a character called Shell, who is a test subject for the company Aperture Science. Aperture Science is a science facility which actually originated making shower curtains, and it was founded by Cave Johnson. Then the company expanded into, wait for it, portals. I know. It's shocking. It's not like it's the name of the game or anything. But they also went into scientific moon rocks and gels, but that's not really important. The main antagonist in the game is this AI called GLaDOS. You could call her evil, or you can just call her a nerd for her love of testing. The GLaDOS AI is the consciousness of Cave Johnson's personal assistant. And when Cave Johnson got terminally ill, his dying wish was to put Carolyn in charge of the Aperture Science facility. After Carolyn is uploaded into the GLaDOS AI, she then kills the whole facility, and then she wakes up Chell to start testing in the first portal. In the first portal game, Chell does a bunch of tests. She also kills GLaDOS at the end of the game, but then is dragged back into the facility. She's asleep for an unnamed amount of time, but we know it's a minimum of 50 years by the Valve developers. She was in an extended relaxation bowl. God, that's hard to say. She then meets a personality core called Wheatley. She does some tests again, wakes up GLaDOS by accident, do more tests, and then you Wheatley take over GLaDOS and put Wheatley into the AI. Wheatley then turns GLaDOS into a potato, and then he pushes you down into the deepest dark pit of the facility, which is the original facility where they did all the gels and moon rocks I mentioned earlier. GLaDOS gets picked by a bird for a while, so now she has a favourite birds. Then you save GLaDOS from the bird, take her with you, then you go all the way back up on an aperture. You do some Wheatley tests, which quite bad because he was designed to be a moron. Anyway, you do some tests, GLaDOS tries to rage bait him, doesn't work, Wheatley tries to rage bait you, and then GLaDOS just backs us up even though we tried to kill her once. Anyway, you do some more tests, even though this game is quite repetitive with its tests. Not in the style of the tests, just the amount of tests. Anyway, Wheatley tries killing you, doesn't work because it was designed to be a moron and left some moon rock gel laying around somewhere, I don't really know. Then you go through this big chase scene, go through it all throughout the facility, and then you end up at Wheatley's. To my lair! Yeah, okay, he said it himself, his lair. Anyway, you use your high IQ from listening to Cave Johnson earlier to then put a portal on the moon. Yes, it sounds weird. Yes, we had a battle at Wheatley's lair, and it somehow ended up putting a portal on the moon. I don't really know. Ask the writers. It was a good ending though, so I don't mind it. Wheatley gets flung into space. You have a little song, GLaDOS. Then after beating the game, you hear this banger of a song.
Well, here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Remember when you tried to kill?
Anyway, that's the basic story of Portal 1 and 2 to you. If you want a more detailed video about it, I will be honoured to make one. But today what we're going to talk about is the concept of living forever. I chose the Portal franchise for 3 different reasons. Number 1, I'm a nerd. That's it. Number 2, GLaDOS is a very good example in my opinion of why you wouldn't want to live forever. And number 3, it gives me a reason to play the game again. So first of all, let's talk about Greek mythology. Some of you made the story about Prometheus, who was famous for, let me read it out here because I forget it, creating humanity from clay and defying Zeus by stealing fire from the gods to give to humans, bringing civilization, art, and technology. As punishment for this rebellious act, Zeus chained him to a rock where an eagle would eat his immortal liver daily, only for it to regrow, a torment ended by Hercules. This could also be seen in Portal 2 by Turret saying,
Prometheus was punished by the gods for giving the gift of knowledge to man. He was cast into the bowels of the earth and pecked by birds.
This turret is saying GLaDOS was punished by the scientists of giving immortality to man, and later she was taken by birds and literally pecked like birds, like I mentioned earlier. And Prometheus will stay alive forever and be in grave pain, exactly how GLaDOS was in pain when she was getting pecked by birds. This could show how the fantasy of living forever can be painful. What also comes to me is GLaDOS feeling pain even though she is a robot. We see it at least 2 times. Once during the core transfer, and second while getting pecked by birds.
Say, you're good at murder. Could you, murder this bird for me?
which also supports my statement of living forever isn't such as a fancy as people think. GLaDOS also talks about how Chell killed her, but she switches the story quite a bit. One time she says,
Oh, it's you. It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
but then she talks about being woken up and not being revived, as someone would say if you were dead. She also talks about one of her features being a black box quick save feature in the event of a catastrophic failure. The 2 minutes of my life that I preserved for analysis, which I would count as more of a coma instead of death. It's more like a dream, and her talking about waking up. I think it just fits her more likely of her being in a coma instead of being murdered. First of all, because she's a robot. Second of all, it's more in her vocabulary to say it like that. An AI would never die, it would only be turned off or broken. But what I think is the most important reason for GLaDOS never being able to die is the song title at the first game is literally called Still Alive, showing she's not dead or murdered, she's just in a coma-like place. There are literally lyrics saying,
There is research to be done on the people who are still alive. And believe me, I am still alive. I'm doing science and I'm still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive.
she says it herself, she can't die. But I think she wants to imagine it. This shows when people are immortal, some people just don't want to be there forever. Some people want to end the suffering and die. There's also a mental part to being immortal. Once you realise that everything and everyone will die around you, you can see the facility falling apart with nobody and the cores are weak, so they can't handle the facility properly. She even mentions it in the Portal 2 ending song.
Goodbye, my only friend. Oh, did you think I meant you? That would be funny if it weren't so sad.
This quite literally represents herself as maybe the last of her friends dying. Showing the mental side of being immortal, it shows that she has emotions and her being sad because now she has no one around her. So in conclusion, this is my best way to state that being immortal isn't that good with the game Portal 2. It doesn't really help that I've only used the second game for most of these things. Portal 1 probably has a lot of dialogue, but I didn't want to go back and play it. In my opinion, it's not as good as the second game. I might have gotten some stuff wrong, so sorry if I did. If you want to correct me down in the comments, please do. So I also include a shout out for my boy Wake on Mac is to Blame. Go check him out. He does some really good content. He helped me with this video a lot, so thank you. Make sure you have a great 2026. I know I'm filming this a bit late, but I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. You. Hey. Yeah, you. I forgot to mention, like, subscribe, and these are all my own interpretations. So if you disagree, of course you can disagree, I don't mind. But I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe, and yeah, goodbye for real this time.